I went out. It was about a week ago. I never go out, hardly ever. Oh, sometimes. But it was to Cheers. I hadn't been to Cheers for a few months, but I left my pool cue there a few months ago, and used it as an opportunity to retrieve it, and I did too. And I shot some pool there, and I was surprised because after the first few games, in which the sire, she beat me in a game. She's bossed off. She asked me to buy her a beer too and give her a tip. Butch bossed off. She asked me to buy her a beer too. They were hanging out with Nicole, who was voluptuous. Yeah, apparently Nicole is Versailles' best friend. She's absolutely adorable. But she's in a relationship. Gotta find these things out, you know. The Miss Vietnam, the Vietnam girl, Layla. Anyway, been over with her a few times to Corba before. Miss Vietnam 2025. She was in the business admin. She was on holidays in the Philippines. Absolutely skinny as a rake, but gorgeous too, in a different kind of way, you know. Not voluptuous, just super slim, but great personality. You know, she was kind of athletic, like a pole vaulter. Yeah, with the body of a, you know, pole vaulter. The women pole vaulters. So we're sitting around the table drinking rum with the Russian in the evening, and Miss Vietnam wanted to play pool. I thought we were going to go to Corva again for the 4th night in a row, because Sarah had organized food for there, and was going to go with Princess akaSisi and put Sarah and Princess together. They're visually and sonically, the sound wise, you know, yeah, they're good in both aspects, you know. They both can sing well and pretty enough to make your heart sing. But anyway, so I thought, well, hadn't been out on an outdoor adventure apart from going to Corba with the gang and the Miss Vietnam. With Miss Vietnam, you know, sitting there with a Russian drunk, and he's drunk already. We've been drinking rum all day, I think. And I thought, why the hell not, you know? I knew the dogs would come. They always follow. So, yeah, walked into town, which is, you know, it's at least 4K, it's probably 5K to get to Cheers. I actually arrived there before they did and had my pool cue out, and I'm ready. Once the Russian started drinking, he started falling over. He fell over 3 times. He had blood on his lips once, you know. And he even spent 1,000 peso on a Gilby's gin or something like that. And we were having shots at the bar. Except he only had a few shots because he kept falling out on the floor, right? Yeah, and the bar staff, the Filipino bar staff, they're concerned about him, you know, and, you know, reconciled with him to take it easy and to sit down and yeah, you know. But I decided that I better get a driver to drive him home. Better send everybody home because it was getting late, right, you know. It's really tough for me to get a tuk-tuk at night because the dogs will won't want to get in the tuk-tuk. But I've got 2 dogs, Jax and Chichai. Jax is trained now. I can get him in the tuk-tuk, but Chichai, you know, she just doesn't want to get caught or picked up or anything, you know. I did manage though. The story continues. So I arranged for a driver who was just outside. and I gave him 300 peso. Well, I gave him 200 peso at first, you know. Him and his wife, his name turned out to be Roselle, and his wife was Janice. She doesn't have any children. And then I gave him I gave her, Janice, another 100 peso to take care of him because the guy's so drunk, you know. Give him extra consideration. And anyway, they put him on the back seat, and then got Miss Vietnam to go with Louis. He's a guy from France. I think Louis and Miss Vietnam are kind of sweet on each other, you know, although left both in the same day to go to Boracay. Miss Vietnam, she already has a boyfriend, so, you know, she's got the mindset, you know, she has a boyfriend, she can't be with anybody else, you know. And, but you never know with women. Anything can happen. Anyway, so, I'm still in the pub, you know. Anyway, they go, you know, they're off and the trip's all organized. It's totally paid for, right? 300 peso. You can send someone back. 200 peso is more than enough from Cheers to Dolphin Bay Resort, you know. At that time of night. During the day, you could get less, you know. But it's midnight or after already. Around midnight, whatever, you know. I was kind of hanging out there and seeing what Nicole was going to do, you know. Anyway, plus I still had a few shots of... Anyway, short break there because I had to manage my storage. I still had some shots on the table to drink, and anyway, they're organized. Louis, Miss Vietnam, and the drunk Russian lame prone, I guess. I was probably sitting up then because probably 3 people on the back seat. And they're off, you know, and in the front you've got Roselle and Janice, who look kind of romantic in the moonlight anyway, you know. And later, I'm still in the pub, you know, still shooting pool with Filipino crew who had arrived and whoever. And still winning too. Actually, I was playing really good pool. I was surprised because I hadn't played for a few months and it didn't take me that long to show my brilliance on the pool table again. Anyway, so Roselle should go and pool with him. He wants to drive me home. Okay, so yeah, okay, I'll give you 200 peso. You can drive me home. We have to take the dogs, and managed to catch Chichai because the barmaid stepped in front of her at one point in time when she was trying to evade, you know, and she stopped, and the dog stopped, and I grabbed her, picked her up and held her, and then went in the tuk-tuk and then called Jax, and Jax jumped up on the seat because he's trained now, and off we go, you know. They drive me home. I give them, I've already paid, you know, but he asked for a cigarette, and I bought a pack of Marlboro before I left. I think I ended up paying about 1,500 for the night out. I have no idea how, but I did buy the bar staff drinks, and maybe someone else put their drinks on my tab, you know, I'm not sure. Probably. Maybe I was buying the Russian drinks too, you know. And which is why I don't really like going out, because, you know, you get most people won't, but I always up spending like about 2K when I go to Cheers, you know. Which is too much, really. But that's how it rolls. That's just, it happens to me every time. Anyway, the night's not over. I get home and he drops me off, and he asks for cigarette, you know, just bought Marlboro Reds, so I give him one. But I've already got packs of Marlboro Red Insider, which I'd bought from supermarket before, you know, and Marlboro Gold, so I gave him the pack. He was pretty happy, you know. I said to him, hey, you know, you did well tonight, picked up 500 peso driving. Yeah. Anyway, next day, Miss Vietnam tells me, do you know last night, she says, Jomar came down. Jomar's a Filipino guy who's kind of local crew friend, and who was at Cheers that night and shooting pool with him as well. Yeah, he's a really cool dude. He always says he watches my YouTube videos. I thought, oh, thanks, bro. Glad somebody does. And anyway, back to Miss Vietnam. She says, the driver last night, well, Jomar came down. He said, did you pay? Did you pay him? Because the driver told Jomar that they hadn't been paid for the trip, and they didn't know. So Jomar went down into, you know, the kitchen, the Dolphin Bay Resort, you know, like to get more money to pay him, you know. The guy's already been paid 300, you know, like more than he would have got anyway, right? And now he's doing a scam. He's cheating and lying, right? To get more. And that's life after midnight with certain people on the island with a certain kind of mindset, which is the reason I don't like going out, because weird things happen, you know. It's like, why do I, you know, why am I buying drinks for bar staff, you know? Right? Anyway, Roselle and Janos, they had a really good night, you know. But they need to make cash, you know. Even though they have no children, it's still like, that's the job. It's not cheap to run a tuk-tuk business, to keep the registration, to keep your driver's license, and so on. So I get it, but I didn't think that would have been the situation. You know, that actually surprised me a lot, to be frank, you know. But that's the story of how easy it is to get ripped off by very ordinary local people. But still, I have to say, like I said before, totally surprised me. And that was the story of going out to Cheers. Yeah, I think it took me a few days to recover. I haven't had a drink since then. 4 days ago. Yeah, anyway, that's how it rolls in the Philippines, on the island. Dolphin Bay Resort. Woo! Oh, Carol. There's windmills, wind turbines on top of the hill. Wind asses. That's Dolphin Bay Resort, where the music's coming from, next to La Siesta. And there's town over there, the mountains where the mountain people live, between yachts, always sitting ready to take someone out. Welcome, Dolphin Bay, Ensenada. Yeah, baby.